So a watcher is that person who has been given the permission, the authority to interfere in the activities in your family, to intervene in the activities of the earth. A watcher is that man that has the ability to speak to things and those things listen to him. A watcher is that person who have the ability to enthrone and dethrone. A watcher is that person who have the ability to change course of happening in his environment because it is not going in the way of the Lord. A watcher is that person who have the ability to put things to an end and restart a new thing. A watcher can bring an end, a reign, and start again a new reign in a generation. Watchers are men that decree and have whatever they have decreed. So when we say somebody is a watcher, we are talking about an individual whose word do not fall to the ground. And when they speak, it becomes a decision. It becomes a law. He said this decree is a decision of the watchers. And God has to obey. We lack watchers. That's why we struggle every day. You kill the witch, the next day he's stronger. You prophesy, it gets worse. You speak, it gets bad. Sir, it's good to have a zeal. But beyond zeal, we don't do this with a zeal. We do it with what? Authority. Watchers are given authority. God has given them a particular height, a particular authority in his realm, that they have the right to make decisions on his behalf because he trusts their judgment, he trusts their decision, and he knows that they will always stand for him. That is who a watcher is. A watcher is that man that will never betray God no matter what. A watcher is that man that will betray everything to stay with God. A watcher will choose God over the table of Ahab, will choose God over the pleasure of Nebuchadnezzar. A watcher will prefer to go through the burning furnace than to bow with every other person in Babylon. That is who a watcher is. A watcher is that man that have accepted the responsibility of pain and loneliness, the responsibility of being alone, standing alone, just to make sure that the kingdom of God is established in a generation and that the will of God is enforced in a midst of people. That is who watchers are. And we have example of people that walk on earth like watchers. And we can see one of them who even refused to marry. Elijah the Tishbite. The Bible says Elijah the Tishbite. There was no beginning, there was no end. We know not where he came from and we know not where he ended. That is how it came. You should understand that that was a watcher in a man form. And the Bible said, this man make a decree. He said in the book of 1 Kings, the chapter 17, verses 1. He said, by my word there shall be no rain or dew. And he disappeared. He said, by my word, until I speak, let every other speaker try and not succeed. Only by my word. Prophets tried. Everybody tried. It is not about title. Elijah was not the only prophet. When he thought that he was the only prophet, God corrected him. He said, I have thousands and thousands of them who have not bowed, but they are not watchers like you. They are not men that have been given authority and responsibility. They are not men that separate themselves, stand alone, walk from the many. They are not like you, but they are prophets, and I know them by name. Which means God is not looking for many prophets. He's not looking for many apostles. God is looking for individual group of people, either male or female, that can stand in the house, rebel against Baal, stand against Nebuchadnezzar, stand against everything that is in contrary to the will and the purpose of God, and stand alone, make decrees and bring those decrees to an end and bring them to pass. Why? That person is a watcher. Hear me well. When we called you a watcher, we have qualified you and we have put you in a particular position and a height that can make everything possible. Stop crying. Watchers don't cry. They make decisions. Stop complaining. Watchers don't complain. They make decisions. They make decrees. The Bible said, thou shalt decree a thing and it shall happen. In other words, if you say prosperity, you have prosperity. That is how watchers speak. You say abundance, there is abundance. You said overflow, there is overflow. That is who a watcher is. Young lady, stop walking like you are nobody. You are a watcher. We are living in a generation with so many titles. Archprophet, archangel, general apostle, general this. Yet we have made decrees. Nothing is happening. We have prophesied. The more we prophesy, the more it gets worse. The more we say, the more it gets bad. And we have found reasons why it is not coming to pass. We are explaining to the people the reason why it is not happening. It's not like the prophet is not anointed. No, sir. Sometimes you have to accept responsibility and then take steps to correct your inability, your limitation. They did all that they could. They never succeeded until the man appeared. When the appointed time came, he appeared. And when he appeared, you know what? He said, call me Ahab, let the prophets of Baal gather. And let me also stand. Get me an altar, get them one. Let the God that answers by fire be God. How do you call for a contest without the permission of God? God never asked him. The Lord said, show yourself to Ahab. I want to have mercy on them. He went and called for a contest. Called down fire. He said on the mountain, if I be a man of... And fire appeared from nowhere. Now, God don't send fire. How did I know? In the book of Luke, Peter told Jesus, Elijah called down fire. Why wouldn't we call down fire like Elijah did and consume these people? Because they denied them access to Bethlehem. And Jesus said, you knew not what the type of spirit you are having. You don't have the spirit of Elijah, but you have the spirit of the Father, which do not bring down fire, but it bring down love. In other words, the fire Elijah called didn't come from heaven. As he spoke it, it appeared from the atmosphere. How did I know? In the book of Ezekiel 37, he said, speak to the four winds of the earth, south, north, and east, and say, thou four winds of the earth, hear the word of the Lord. Let bread come out of you. So the bread was not coming out of heaven. Everything you need to succeed is here. If magicians understand supernatural more than Christians, the only thing we know is revelations and then lies, insulting each other, and funny things. Magicians know this. How can a magician do fire and he's holding it like this? Apple, banana. As for you after, after all this, you say, Brother Joshua, do you have 5 Ghana cedis? I need to buy banana. I need to buy banana and break my fast. Hey! I want banana to break my fast. Meanwhile, when you're praying, right now, you don't have Gary. Your Gary has finished. Is it possible to finish praying? Jollof and tilapia. We are mentoring a generation that don't need to go to Toyota to buy a car. You will finish praying and press the key, and then the car will appear, and you will enter with everything registered, everything intact. A miracle do not violate protocols in the systems. It follow those protocols. It will register the car, the chances number, everything will be there. That's what happens. Do you think everyone who owns a car buys it? He said, lands you did not buy, houses you did not build, cars you never paid for, you will drive them. He's talking about the supernatural. He's talking about the supernatural. Some of you are calculating. Come on, forget about these calculations. Forget about these calculations. I told myself every 4 years I'm going to change my spiritual father car. Every 4 years. Just like when they are doing election, I'm changing him a car every 4 years. So I want to buy